So now let us come to case studies definition. Case studies involve an in-depth investigation of an individual, groups, or specific situation to explore complex issues in details. Now, see, there are different methods of child study, right? It can be naturalistic observation, participant observation, cross-sectional study, longitudinal study, right? And here, case study. Now, how case study is different? So, case study means you will pick up a specific case. Suppose you want to know in your school why the children always fail in mathematics. So, this is a special case where you can select one individual, or where you can select a group of individuals who have bad marks in mathematics, and you can do in-depth study. You check their classwork copy, you check their homework copy, you read about their study habits, you read about their peers, you read about their friends, you read about their families, friends, and you go to their house and ask the parents how much time he or she is spending, what is the problem, how are you as parents being supportive and cooperative to the child. So these things the researcher or the teacher can go and find out. This is just an example, right? But case study can also mean that, as you can see, fire all across the world in Los Angeles, right? In Los Angeles, you can see the fire is going on, right? So there, what is the cause of the fire? Why the fire is caused? Is it a natural cause, or there is any political cause behind this? So all these things you will do research and you will find out, and this will also be known as a case study. Case study means studying about a specific topic but in a detailed way. Now, what are the features? Focus is on a single subject or a small group. So when we do a case study, we may select a topic like jhum cultivation. We want to know about the jhum cultivation in Meghalaya. What are the pros and cons? What are the effects, causes? Now, or we can select a small group of class 6 boys or class 10 boys, and we want to study how they take care of their health. So it can be anything you like, provides rich qualitative data. So when you are doing a research or when you are doing a case study, you will get a very, very valuable, authentic, rich quality data. So the data you are collecting from case or from your participant, from your students, or from anybody, that will be very, very informative and have a high quality where you can trust it, right? Often uses interviews, observation, and historical records. So when we are doing a case study, we might take the interview of the subject, we may observe the subject, or we may even go and check the past records of that particular subject or the student or the group of individuals. Findings may not always be generalizable to a larger population. Of course, when we are doing a case study, we cannot say this is applicable to everyone in this world. Case study means selecting a small group or small individual or a single individual, right? So you cannot say that, suppose you are doing a case study on Virat Kohli. So you cannot say all the cricketers in the world, they drink this costly water, say that. Or suppose if you do a case study on Isaac Newton, so it does not mean that to everybody's head, whenever apple falls, they would have behaved as, or they would have responded as Isaac Newton did. Not necessary, right? Because you're studying only a small subject. So that's why case study is not generalizable. So what example can we see? A teacher notices that one child in a class struggles with reading despite being bright in other areas. So suppose here example is given, right? A case study example is given. Suppose you observe that there is a child in your class, her name is Naira. So you see that Naira, she is very expert, very brilliant in all the other spheres or all the other areas. She is brilliant in different areas of her study. However, she struggles with reading. So you conduct a case study on Naira. You interview the child, you interview the child's parents, and you observe the child during reading activities in the classroom, outside the classroom, at home. You are observing, right? And then you review the school history of the child, how regularly the child is coming, how much participation she is putting in different co-scholastic and non-scholastic areas, co-curricular activities. All this you will find out. Then at the end of the day, you might discover that the child has dyslexia, right? You may discover that the child have dyslexia problem, and that's why she is not able to read as a normal child would have read. Now, when you hear the word dyslexia, many things might come into your mind, like what is this, how it is, what is this particular disability. So these things I will explain as we go on and on, because dyslexia, then dyscalculia, dysgraphia, these things will come later on in different units. Now, let us do a comparison between the three methods of child study, that is cross-sectional study, longitudinal study, and case studies. So focus. Now cross-sectional study focuses on groups at one point in time. So cross-sectional study, we focus on group of individuals but at a single time. In longitudinal study, same group it might be, but over different time, as I have given you the example. In case studies, in-depth analysis of one case. So in case study, we study the single individual or single group of individuals or single event, but in details. Now, data collection. In cross-sectional study, the data collection is single time point. In longitudinal study method, it is multiple time. They can collect in January, December, March, like that. And in case study, it is very large, comprehensive data can be collected. Time. So cross-sectional study takes short time. Longitudinal study, as the word says, longitudinal, so it takes long time. And case study can be short time taking, more time taking, or average time taking. It depends. Example of cross-sectional studies: reading habits across ages. So as we have seen, class 6, class 9, class 10 students, or a single child, when she is at the age of 5, how she reads, at the age of 6, how she reads, at the age of 10, how she reads. So reading habits across ages. So you will see that how children of different age, like 6 years, 10 years, 14 years, 15 years, how much interest they have on the reading and what type of book they like to read. But when we talk about longitudinal method of study, vocabulary growth in children. So here we see a small child who is 6 years old, how much vocabulary she has. Then when she is 10, how much vocabulary she has. Then when she is 15, how much vocabulary she has. So this is longitudinal way of study. Now, and when we talk about case study, identifying dyslexia in a child. So how case study can be like, if the best example is Tare Zameen Par movie you have seen, no? So in that case, Ishan Avesti is suffering from dyslexia, right? He has the problem in reading, right? You see that he cannot read or he cannot write. He is misplacing B and D, the shape of B and D he is misplacing, right? He don't understand how to write B, how to write D. So that is an example of dyslexia. So as teachers, I highly recommend that you all go and watch the movie Tare Zameen Par, where you will get to learn a lot. So whatever Amir Khan did in that movie, that is called a case study. Alright, that is the best example of case study I can give. So this is all in this video. So thank you everyone for staying connected with the show tutorials Meghalaya's first MTET channel. Thank you.